I'm Erin Spinagle, here today at Mountain Ridge Intermediate. Join me today as we learn about some of the teachers here at the home of the Red Hawks on this edition of Be the Difference, West Virginia. We're here with Heather Blackburn. She's a teacher here at Mountain Ridge Intermediate. Hi Heather, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm well. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Like you mentioned, my name is Heather Blackburn. I live here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. I graduated from West Virginia University. Go Mountaineers! I have my master's in elementary education as well as specializations in special education and social studies.
Now, is your family from here?
No, I'm not originally from here. I moved here for the job opportunities. I'm from a very small rural town in West Virginia. My husband and I moved here by ourselves, and we had our first daughter this summer. So
Well,
it's been.
what made you decide to become a teacher?
I decided in second grade that I wanted to be a teacher. I've wanted to be a teacher for as long as I can remember. I remember my mom trying to persuade me not to be a teacher due to financial reasons. She knew that teachers don't get a lot of credit and don't make a lot of money, but I love working with students. I love being the teacher's helper, walking around, just seeing teachers be engaged and just passionate about their subjects.
What are some things that you do in your classroom to help your students take responsibility for their actions?
I think it's really important to set a very strict set of rules and expectations, be very clear about the consequences, and follow through with those. When a student does break a rule, it's really important to go back and explain to them what rule they broke, why they broke it, and also how to develop a plan so that they don't break that rule in the future. For example, I sometimes deal with students who might strike another student or say an inappropriate word, and I use that as a teaching moment to go back and say, okay, this is what you said, this hurt this person's feelings. How can we fix that situation and make that person know that you're truly sorry?
What is your favorite part about being a teacher?
My favorite part about being a teacher is knowing that I'm making a difference in my students' lives. When they have that light bulb moment, when you teach them something very interesting or fascinating, they're like, wow, I didn't know that, or I've always wanted to learn that, and just seeing them passionate and really excited about learning something.
What subject do you enjoy teaching your students most?
Personally, I'm a history buff. I absolutely love teaching social studies. I've been fortunate this year to teach the 5th grade curriculum, so I've done a lot with the Civil War, and my students are really passionate about learning about the various battles and significant soldiers as well as generals.
Do you have a certain book that you like to read to your students, or a certain type of a series of books you like to share with them?
My absolute favorite author is Jerry Spinelli, and I always like to read either Report to the Principal's Office or Maniac McGee, and my students find those books quite hilarious.
What are some of the activities that you're involved in here at Mountain Ridge outside of the traditional school day?
Outside of the traditional school day, this year I took on the role of our school social studies fair coordinator, and I've worked with parents and students creating newsletters, timelines, working with them individually on the projects, making sure they have everything prepared, ready to go, as well as attending the county fair with the students and cheering them on.
What's a misconception about the teaching profession that you wish you could clear for the public?
A lot of people believe that I only work 180 days a year, which is true. I do only have students 180 days a year, but outside of my contracted hours, I bring home lesson plans, I attend meetings, I do engage in professional development, I take extra classes at universities, as well as looking for engaging lessons, units over the summer.
We're here with Aubrey Shipley. She's a 4th grade teacher here at Mountain Ridge Intermediate. Hi Aubrey, how are you?
Hi, fine. How are you?
Good. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am married to my high school sweetheart, and we have 2 beautiful children, Cameron, who is in the 8th grade at Musselman Middle School, and Caroline, who is in the 4th grade here at Mountain Ridge Intermediate. And I've been teaching for 15 years. 10 years I spent at Potomac Intermediate School, and then this is my 5th year here at Mountain Ridge. I graduated from Shepherd University, was born and raised here in Martinsburg, in Martinsburg, but now I live in Inwood. I've lived here for about 12 years, and I come from a big family. I'm the youngest of 8 children.
Well, what made you decide to become a teacher?
Well, I originally went to college to be a communications major, and I was in that major for about 2.5 years, and I was liking it okay, but just not really excelling, so I took a semester off and worked full-time. And during that time, I met a Berkeley County teacher, and it was during the summer. and she was, we were talking about her career, and I thought, you know what? I could maybe be a teacher. I think I could do that. Like, I thought about how when I was younger I would teach my nieces and my nephews, and how I always loved school when I was growing up. And I didn't want to graduate high school. I think I was like one of the few who, didn't want to graduate. I wanted to stay. So I re-enrolled the following fall, and I enrolled as an elementary education major, and my grades shot up. I loved learning, about how children grow and learn, and I just found my niche.
Well, tell me a little bit about your classroom. How do you get your students excited about learning?
Well, I do lots of things. Some things are silly. I sing, I dance, I make up stories. I love to do kid-generated things, anything, project learning, cooperative learning, any research. I try to incorporate their outside life into what they learn about, so that they can find things relevant, and so they want to learn about it. And I try to let them know that I really care about them. When they walk in this door, or in the door in this classroom, it's a safe learning environment, and I want them to know that I care about them, and that I'm here to support them and, help them grow.
What's a lesson or activity that you do with your class that they really enjoy doing, or that you really enjoy teaching?
It's hard to pick one, but I think that the thing I love to teach the most, I love to do hands-on project learning or cooperative learning, where the kids generate things from what they've learned, or where they discover things as they're generating, a project or something. So I do enjoy science experiments or investigations, seeing that light bulb go off in their head when they get it. They're like, oh, this is what you were talking about. So those are my favorite things to teach.
How are you involved in the students' lives at Mountain Ridge outside the traditional school day? What other activities are you in besides just teaching your fourth graders?
Well, since I live in Inwood, I see a lot of the kids just in Inwood, at sporting events especially, because both of my own children are, athletes. They're in a lot of sporting events. So I see a lot of the kids at the baseball field or football field. Actually, a couple of the students in my class I've actually coached before in cheerleading. So
what's one thing that you wish the public understood about what it's like to be a teacher?
Well, I wish the public understood, I guess, that there are a lot of really good teachers in Berkeley County, and I think a lot of people know that, but we are the majority. There are a lot of great teachers actually in Berkeley County that really care and are very hardworking and dedicated to the profession, and they make it look a lot easier than it is to actually do our job. We spend a lot of time outside of the classroom preparing for just a school day, and a lot of our own money and effort, and it really doesn't end when you walk out the door at 3:40. A lot of us stay after school. We come in on days off, and it takes a lot to run and manage a classroom. But that being said, personally, I feel, this sounds corny, but I feel like this is what I was put on earth to do. That, even though it's hard and demanding, like every day I come to work, I get to be somebody's hero. I get to be somebody's role model, or they look up to me just for being here, and that is really special. There's not many jobs that you can say, I come to school every day and what I'm doing makes a difference.
That's all for this edition of Be the Difference West Virginia. Join me next time as we learn more about the teachers here in beautiful Berkeley County. Until then, I'm Erin Spinagle, reminding you to be different, but more importantly, be the difference. I'll see you soon.